Hi guys, this is The Ordinary Man, step-by-step episode 35. So what have we been up to? Don't think I've done a podcast since Monday, Monday or Tuesday. Again, to anyone just who hasn't listened in before, what this is about is me documenting my process of what I'm doing to try and convert an idea into a successful business. Pretty straightforward. So no advice or tips or wisdom or anything like that, because to be quite frank, I don't have the experience to give any of that, but it is literally me just documenting the process. And if anybody can take anything from it or can relate to it, then happy days. So what have we been up to? So it's been a busy week. We have obviously a number of clients on board at the minute on the app. We have a number of employees as well that we're trying to help secure accommodation for. So that's been going okay. We've had more and more people reaching out asking for favours to try and help secure accommodation, which we're happy to do. Obviously, for people that have helped me, I'm more than happy to do. And anyone that has reached out, I generally do try and help because I'm soft. So that's getting more and more noticeable, I suppose. We've been working out of the NDRC this week. We're in as a startup now in their accelerator, pre-accelerator program. So again, we're continuing to validate our business model and our value proposition to our stakeholders and things like that. So that's running for the next 5 weeks. So we'll be in their offices now, working out of their space for that. So that's down on Crane Street. So going well so far. Yesterday was the second week, I suppose, the start of the second week. We had a couple of people in giving talks. We went over yesterday morning. We spent some time around customer discovery and validation. So Russell Banks was in. He's been part of a number of startups over the years, and he was giving us tips and tricks on how to go about customer discovery and an actual process that you put in place. So that was really good. So we're starting to look more at that now as well. We did a lot of that, I suppose, early on, around confirming our assumptions and our hypotheses and different things like that. So we're going to go back over that again, just to work on that and just to make sure that we're asking the right questions. So that was really good. First thing in the morning, then we had Aisling Tallard come in. She is the CEO of Tandem. So again, she was just chatting about how she's gone about scaling up a startup team from her experience of doing that. I think they'd said that they've just recently raised $2 million in funding that I think is going to be in the newspapers this weekend, which is brilliant for them. So I nabbed Aisling then afterwards. Her experiences as a HR manager, nabbed her afterwards just to get a feel from the HR person's background of some of the challenges that they would see in attracting and retaining talent, and if there's any sort of connection there with issues around accommodation for their employees and things like that. So that was really good, just to, I suppose, get inside the mind of a HR experienced HR person. Then in the afternoon, then we had another chat from Kevin Sexton, who's the CEO of Mobstats. So that was really good. A lot of talks. It's obviously good to get out of the daily sort of grind of the work, but it can be frustrating as well at times. I had to jump on a call then yesterday afternoon with the Department of International Trade, actually, which just reminds me I need to send an email to him during it. So that was good. Other than that, this week, again, we're continuing to ramp up on the marketing. Rebecca's doing a great job on that, and business development as well. Jumping on Skype calls. We've got a couple of new employees that we need to help get accommodation for. Talking again with the accountant, we've recently got a priming grant of 30k, and we're trying to just go about the best way to draw that down. If we draw it down, we might run into a couple of issues with being taxed heavily on it. So just trying to work out the best thing to do there. So working with Frisbee Associates and that. So George has been a great help there. So continue to do that. We've started to ramp up, I suppose, even from yesterday, before yesterday, the customer discovery stuff. I've been asked to attend a TV program that's being run by TV3. I think I mentioned this in the last podcast as well, but yeah, there's going to be a TV3 program hosted by David McWilliams on the housing issues, and I guess he's asked me to come along to, the researchers have asked me to come along to give the opinion of how it's impacting businesses. Obviously, it's sort of an area that hasn't been touched on an awful lot, but it's obviously an area that we're deeply involved in now. So we're trying to give a bit of an insight to the general world of how this is impacting businesses, and so we're spending a lot of time now trying to get on the phone and chat to HR people and recruiters and CEOs and CFOs and all of the above to try and get their opinions on how it's impacting their business. So we're doing that as well, and we're going to obviously do that in probably more so now in a customer discovery way, not really telling people who we are, trying to figure out, get their opinions on what the challenges are from a company's point of view in general, of attracting and retaining talent, and hopefully, if our assumptions are correct, one of the tricky things at the minute is housing, and that's where we would come in. So again, that's just validating our proposition. So we'll be doing that over the next week or so. Well, we're going to be doing it over the next coming weeks, but we're going heavily and trying to contact people now this afternoon and trying to get them arranged for calls next week. We've also got a proposal out to a private investor for a small amount of funding that we will need to scale our team more so from an admin side fairly quickly. We're in discussions again with a really large multinational company who are hiring aggressively from abroad. Relocating employees from abroad to here as well, and I just want to make sure that we have enough admin people on to help support these a large amount of individuals, because we did get caught. We got caught with the last multinational that came on because they had so many people using the app and so many people that we had to support, and I just didn't have the numbers there to support them. So the service that they got, to be brutally honest, wasn't up to standard, which is extremely frustrating for me. So I don't want that to happen again. So we were looking for that bit of investment just to keep things ticking over. Also, the person I've approached is in the property sphere, and that's always been very important to me. I've never been concentrated in any way on investment, but if we did go down that route, I wanted it to be from somebody in the property sphere, who's been there, done that, and built businesses and things like that, and that's who we've approached. So I'll be doing that. Well, that proposal's gone, so sent out. So hopefully we'll hear a bit of word next week on that. So that's another thing, and that's pretty much it. Actually went to meet one of the employees. So we're putting in place now a new marketing campaign. As part of it, we're going to be going out and actually visiting employees that we've helped secure accommodation via the Property Base Camp app, and just get to meet them and again, just learn a little bit of some of the challenges that they might have had, or some of the things that they'd like to see in the product, or just get to know them a little bit and get to know the mindset of a relocating employee, of what they're looking for. And we're also asking them now to give a tip or a piece of advice for other relocating employees. So we're going to get all that on camera, on video, and we're going to be getting that up on our social networks. So that was really good. I really enjoyed it, actually. Met Pablo and Vanessa, who had come in from Brazil. So you should check out the video. It's on LinkedIn. So we'll be doing more of that. Meeting Jefferson next week, who's another person that we helped. So that's pretty much it. Things ramping up nicely. And I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, that's all. So again, as always, thanks a million for anybody who's listening in. I'm actually, obviously, we're in the NDRC working here now, and there's obviously a lot more founders, so I'm going to try and get some other founders on the podcast over the next couple of weeks and let them tell their story and what they're doing to try and move their business forward, things like that. So you won't have to just be listening to me talking shite for 10 or 15 minutes. It's going to be somebody else talking shite. So so as always, any feedback, positive, negative, feel free to send my way, and we'll chat to you again probably next week. So hope you have a lovely weekend. Take care.